Hey, how's it going? I'm Dan Fradenburgh, and this is Chess with Investors. I'm joined today with Carla Berkowitz. How you doing today, Carla?
I am great. A tiny bit nervous because I make better. I've made a few chess movies, and I make much better chess movies than I play chess. What can
Right.
I say?
It looks like you're going to go for a Carl Khan here against me so far, but this is exciting stuff. So, as Carla already mentioned, she is a movie producer. I saw that you were the headlining producer on the Wikipedia page for Critical Thinking, directed by John Leguizamo. So there's
Yes,
somebody that people would know. I don't know. Like maybe you want to introduce yourself a little
yes,
bit more. Yeah,
absolutely.
go for
So,
it.
give me a chance to study the board while I talk.
Sure, it's a 15
So,
minute game.
as you said, I'm Carla Berkowitz. I'm the executive producer of the chess movie Critical Thinking, which, if your audience, knows about chess movies, they will recognize. Hopefully, if not, I did a very bad job in PR. But it was directed and it starred John Leguizamo, and it unfortunately was a COVID movie for us, so it had a different rollout than ordinarily it would have. However, it's an incredible movie. It has a 97% Rotten Tomatoes. It's 5 years out this year, and it's actually more popular than it ever was. So we decided to actually make a part two or a TV series. We're not 1,000% sure right now, but I am that person, and I just finished a second chess movie, which is not out yet, which is a feature doc about female chess masters and how they got to where they were, where they started, and how they ended up where they are today. And the stories are remarkable, all the way to Paris, to Mexico, everywhere in the US. It's just fantastic. So, like I said, my chess movies are much better than my play.
Well, it's you've already hit a subject that's near and dear to my heart. I've got a son and a daughter. My daughter has lots of natural talent when it comes to chess, and I'm really trying to get her deeper into it. I've already included my son in some of these different episodes of Chess with Investors and Improve at Chess, as featured on chesswithinvestors.com. So I'm
Great
really
name, by the
eager.
way. That's a great name.
Thanks,
Great
thanks.
film
Well,
name. Yeah.
there's a few reasons for it. Originally it was chess with commercial real estate investors because that's the circles that I tend to spend time with. But I wanted to, spread a wider net because even real estate investors, they're going to have a portion of their portfolio in something else instead, right? So it really does make a lot of sense to broaden it. And I know that you're actually the second film producer that I've had on
Really?
Chess. Exactly. The other one,
Which
he
was the other one?
it was for a movie called The Money Game. And that was partially to understand the financial system, and also how I think he'd say that it's basically a house of cards because of the digital trading that happens all
Yes.
the time. You've got the
The
quants on one
crypto.
side,
Yeah.
right, and so basically you've got these robot traders that they simply they don't have to worry about fundamentals at all.
Yeah.
And so that's why it's an absolutely crazy state of affairs at the end of the day, because you'll have these companies trading at ridiculous values. But
When you say the fundamentals, you mean like because they are aided by so many machines and so many tools now that they actually don't even have to learn what they're doing. What exactly then do they do? May I ask?
Right. So what it'd be is they go off of trends, and so they realize that this particular stock has an upward trend. And so since they are focused on these micro trades, in the sense of, it's for fractions of a second or something like that, they'll pile in and have a complete disregard for cap rates, for example.
Got it.
Right. Relating that for anybody in the audience, if you're familiar with apartment buildings, commercial real estate at all, what they do is they take the net operating income, they divide it by the purchase price of the asset, and that's the cap rate. It's basically a back of the envelope way to know, what sort of discount you're getting, how much are you paying, and being able to compare it just to the returns you get at a bank or a mutual fund or debt fund or anything like that. So it's a really important thing to keep in mind. I think I'm going to move my knight over here, but so it's an interesting idea or business model getting into movies. I also understand that there's a lot of companies that wind up operating on a loss leader. Or even
Yeah.
the loss as a whole is a big thing for them.
It's like they
So
want the loss is kind of what they're looking for in a way. These, I make micro indie or indie movies. I didn't even see that. I was looking at the screen, which is crazy, but okay.
this is so hard to multitask like this,
No, no,
right?
no, no. It's fine. I was just that was sneaky, but that's okay. So these movies that are made for, $300 million, right? You can make a movie for 300 million or a million, and if it's not seen, then no one will ever either know it exists or even go see it. So they have to, how do they recoup their investment? They spend almost the same amount of money on advertising. So it's almost impossible, to recoup because you have to, sorry, you have to spend the exact same that you spent on the film on the advertising. So how are you going to recoup $500 million? So some of these companies actually don't even want it. They take it as a tax loss, which is very disturbing for indie players like me who with 3 million or less than 5 million, we make masterpieces and we try our damnedest, if not better than that, to pay the investor back. Like that to me personally, in my business model, that is the most important thing because you don't want like a one-off, you want him to or her to do more things. And I feel like I feel like that that to me is gross.
Right. Yeah. The moral
It
hazard. It's
really
it's
is.
it's a
It's
really
just
it's a real
it
problem.
it is, especially when you can't concentrate on your chess
Right. It's so
because
hard.
I'm talking to you. So sorry.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. I definitely get it. It's
yeah.
yeah.
But
What
that's
I've
good.
got.
It's very good for the brain to do like two sides of the brain at the same time. I actually have never done this before. I've played with friends and talking, but I watch the board.
Yeah, 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 it's really tough, and I've got into a habit recently of telling people, you should probably prepare a question or two of your own for me, just because otherwise, like, I kind of have the upper hand because
No, that's good. I
I've got
like
some
that you have the
questions,
upper hand
right?
'cause I can come up with, see, okay, that wasn't good. But anyway, I can come up with, my own answers. But anyway, so this, I know that you were interested in interviewing me, but this is an investor podcast. And you and I were talking about that. I'm not a true investor in the sense I don't actually, invest my funds in other people's projects, but I do invest my funds and my investors' funds in my project and investing not just funds, but time, energy, and actually, sometimes it's worth more. I call it like the ROI of emotional ROI.
Hmm.
Sometimes these investors that I have done everything, and you know, I say to them, how much so and so can you sell, or how many buildings can you build, or why don't you do something that has some lasting effect that your children can see, that you can go to a film theater, a movie theater, and watch, and stuff like that. And they get it, and they are. It actually is an interesting. It it's an interesting concept when you don't invest just to make money back. Sometimes I had an investor actually for about 30 years who became a close friend, and he did everything in his life. And the reason that he invested in my films is because of the ROI emotional. He was so happy after he did the films and he could take his family, and it outlived him and will outlive all of us. And it's a very special part of the brain that gets fired up when you see your funding make something so special and not just more funding. Believe it or not, it's true. And I've seen it many, many times with the more wealthier, the more wealthier people.
Yeah, yeah, and I think that there's one thing that's coming out about how you're saying that, which is that I think like there's a certain coyness that I think that you really shouldn't harbor. Like, and I'm putting it, I'd put it in the sense of pragmatism, utilitarianism, and the fact is, art is what makes life worth living. Like even people who have no imagination or whatever you want to call it, they're still, like they're not eager to be doing the exact same thing every single day. And the only way that they are able to do it is by feeling that they're part of something greater in the big
That's
scheme of things,
that's
right?
exactly right. And I have to tell you that not a lot of film filmmakers, executive producers like me, I'm not a director, so I don't actually, I'm not considered an actual filmmaker if you want to look at it in the exact way that people are defining that, but I feel like I am.
Hmm.
When you get, I find it, initially it was the nerve to say that to like a billionaire. After I said it a few times and it landed so well, it wasn't a scheme, it was true. They realized for themselves that, my goodness, like what have I been doing? Oh, I mean, I've made all my money, but I haven't been as happy as this in a very, very long time. Like, I bring my family to a private screening, and people are crying because of what this girl did with my funds. And not just the funds, if you could try to get them involved in the creative, even though if they're not creative, everybody can get creative if you ask the right questions and you say the right things. And so I have experienced it many times where people that have done everything in, let's say, 80 years, 60 years, 70 years, and just were doing it inertia because it wasn't ever enough money, by the way. It's never enough money until they got to a point where they did something like a film, and they got, obviously they got paid back and everything went well. But even so, it's still, I'm micro budget, like I say, micro indie or indie, and that's like under 5 million, under 4 million. And that amount of money to these investors that I was friends with is nothing. It's like nothing. And so even if they didn't make their money back, it wouldn't have mattered because it opened up their heart to something that they have never experienced when they sign a big deal and money gets deposited into their account. It's a different thrill, and I think, in my opinion, everyone can have a jolt of creativity, or everyone can have some creativity in them, even though, not everyone is Steven Spielberg, Picasso, or Mozart. But there's something that if you touch properly, it it just explodes, and then it gets, what else can we do? What's the next thing, that we can do together? It's very interesting. And by the way, it's not only just movies. For me, it started when I started in the 90s, which was making fitness videos, believe it or not. And from there, it started getting bigger and bigger and bigger, but the investor stayed the same. And so he kept getting bigger and bigger with me too. And he just, he got, that's it. He got hooked.
Yeah, yeah, it really is amazing, and there's a lot to unwrap there. It's having that longevity, that feeling like you actually created something. Honestly, like in real estate, the people who I get along with best are the people who really realize that life is more than just numbers on a page. It
That's
got,
it. It's choices, it's freedom. It's what are you going to do with all that money? Are you going to get more time? Are you going to spend more time with your family? Are you going to, retire early and live a life where you don't have to? I actually have a friend who I should introduce you to him actually, who has he's on LinkedIn, but his company is called Try Life On, where he designs his own life and other people's lives as well. And it's like you try it before you do it, kind of thing. And he also plays chess, so he'd be a great person to interview. But his whole life is, it's not just the money. It's, what can we do with that so we don't have to just go on autopilot all the time. Like we can get joy out of living.
yeah,
He's
it's
also, by the way, he's also a partner of mine in the media stuff, in the movie stuff. So I actually, my last film, I mentioned I was in Paris, and sorry, sorry, I was like, I was in Paris, but where am I now with this? And I asked him to come so he could actually see what happens on a set in Paris. And he did. And he was that's it. That's all he needed to see. An investor, not caring so much about, you know, the funds, caring more about how it made him feel.
Yeah, that makes so much sense, and
Yeah.
like that was the other thing that was coming to my mind too, is that I find that the people who basically they only see numbers on a page, those are the ones who, especially in real estate, give the rest of us a bad name. Because people are just, oh, well, we're just going to pick up this place, we're going to raise rents by this amount. It's like, well, that's, like it's a period of inflation. People's bills are going up. And if you just, raise the rents all willy-nilly, which is one of their biggest expenses, like you're going to cause actual hardship. So you do have to recognize the people that are behind those numbers, and trying to squeeze out every penny. It just reminds me of A Christmas Carol, Ebenezer Scrooge, right?
Yeah.
It's pretty crazy stuff.
You're making me look really bad. Like, in other words, I play much better than this, and but that's okay. I
We're
like having.
distracted.
No, I'm completely in this mode of getting humbled and realizing that uh, you know that you really do have to pay attention.
It's pretty
Yeah,
crazy,
it's
but
very humbling.
but
Yeah,
before we got on this recording, before we started recording, we mentioned that I did have the good fortune of playing against the world ranked number two,
yeah.
the top guy in America. I played against him twice, and talk about humbling, right? It's just
Oh, forget it. Yeah,
you
but
know.
the problem is that yeah, you got humbled, but you hit it well. But also you were controlling the screen, so it's different. Like I never find myself in this situation, but it's interesting. It's okay. Morphy played with one, right? Didn't he lose all his pieces? Uh,
I'm
and then
not
still
aware.
won against the Count and
Oh, was that the opera game?
yeah, the opera game, which was in my film as well.
Oh,
Um,
it's
yeah,
Yeah, I know
Yeah,
that he had I think that one was yeah, I don't remember the exact details of that
it was in New Orleans,
right.
and he played against uh, a duke and a count, and he won. He lost all his pieces, and it's explained in the film because he was an artist, not a butcher, they say. So he made more about development than capturing, and didn't mind getting captured, as long as he he stayed the artist that he was.
Hmm.
And to me, that was actually one of the better scenes. If you watch the film, Critical Thinking, and you watch the film, that's a very good scene. And as a matter of fact, I've gotten thousands of comments from people, of course, that I'll never meet, that say that was the only film or person in the media that has ever explained the opera game,
Hmm.
not just perfectly, but beautifully. And what John did was he would put on wigs of the people that were playing the game, and it's a great scene. You should watch it, considering I'm about to lose, but that's fine.
Yeah, you almost got me on a stale. That was sneaky. That was I was
I have
impressed
to do
there.
something. I have to do something, considering I wasn't watching the screen the entire time, but that's okay.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah. It's I'm still trying to get a something going here with two bishops.
yeah.
But yeah, this
Yeah,
is
you don't have to you definitely don't have to show off to me. I'm joking. Yeah.
well, that's like one thing. One problem
How
I
did you
have.
get two bishops? That is just insane.
Oh,
I mean,
oh, it's
how did you not lose a bishop while I'm playing?
I'm not sure, to be honest. Let me
I know
see.
what it is. It's because I wasn't watching the screen. Oh my gosh. Okay, we have to play again off screen, like off the
It's we definitely can. We
yeah.
can also have a rematch because sometimes we have two matches in a single episode, and
Yeah. I think we should have a rematch if you
yeah.
don't mind. Would you mind?
Sure, sure. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Please do. Yeah, you want to hit resign, or do you want me
Let's
to try and
resign.
find this?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, there's a little flag on the right there.
I'm looking.
Yeah. So it's next to the draw button if you see it. It's a little flag. If,
I have
if
it
it's a
on.
smaller screen, then you might need to scroll below the board to see it
Yeah,
under the list of moves.
that's why I made the board bigger, but
If you keep, maybe if it's big, then you probably have to scroll down to see
yeah.
the draw and resign
Mm,
buttons there. There's a little flag.
yeah, I know what I've resigned. Oh, there we go. Okay.
Yeah, it hasn't come on yet, but
I resigned. I
it,
resigned.
it
There
should
we
be.
go.
It should. Oh, there you go. Okay, cool. Now I
Okay.
hit rematch. Okay.
Yay. Okay, now I'm not going to talk to you. Well, actually, I'll talk to you, but I'm not going to look, if you don't mind. Like, I
Oh,
don't care. At this moment, I don't care how I look on screen. I'm just going to have to redeem myself a bit.
I hear you. I hear you. Okay. Oh, it says that. Oh, okay. Yeah, you sent me a new one. There we go.
Yeah.
Accept. Okay, cool. Now, but just to make sure. Okay, so I'm black this time. You're not
Okay.
a ringer, though, right? That wasn't like a.
No, this is fine. Do you mind
Okay.
if I take a sip of my
Oh,
Snapple
of
iced
course.
tea in
Of course.
my all in motion um, cooler? It's
Right.
Snapple.
Right. You're taking
Peach
you're
diet.
taking a page out of
I'm
Hikaru's
taking I'm
book.
taking a page out of Hikaru's chicken salad or tuna
Right. Yeah.
salad.
Tuna salad
So
from I think it was Trader
from
Joe's.
Trader Joe's. This is not from Trader Joe's. It's from Publix, but it's diet iced peach iced tea with no like bad sugar stuff. So,
But it's going to abort in 20 seconds if you don't pick a move. So
oh,
you're going to have to pick a move.
there we go.
You can do.
You're trying to
Okay, cool. There we go. So if you're gonna do that one, yeah, I think I'll do a closed game. All right. So we got some King's Indian defense, maybe a Grunfeld coming your way. But we'll see how that goes.
those names mean nothing to me. You can just say them and say them. No, I'm joking. Of course they mean
Right,
something.
right, yeah, yeah. It's funny. I remember when I first got in, like, started taking chess seriously. I thought the names were so pretentious.
No,
You
I'm
know,
joking. I mean, of course they mean something to me. I just trying to distract you.
okay, well,
But
fair enough. That works too. Sure, let's try.
but you know, interestingly enough, I really do. I really do have to tell you that I have found my favorite investors through through making films with them
Mm-hmm,
or making art with them. They have a different way of looking at finances, also, and a different way of looking at happiness as well.
mm-hmm,
So I have to tell you that it's just been that way since my first my first fitness video, which I think was my first, project in filmmaking, and yeah, those are my favorite investors because they saw something they saw something different. They saw something different in when they started working with me.
mm-hmm,
They realized that they could make money on the side, but that wasn't as fun anymore. What was fun was using all the money they made all the years to either fund somebody's project that they aligned themselves with. It wasn't just making my dream come true.
mm-hmm,
I was actually looking at it as I was making their dream come true.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm. I love that, and the other thing that I love about this format, this interview format, is it gives me the opportunity to share some things that I just don't think I would in any other format. And what you're reminding me of is one thing ever since I was little that I would focus on is I would always hang out with people who are older than I am, and
Yeah,
that
me too.
and being a miser with my time.
Yeah.
It was probably because I read the first chunk of Plato's Republic
I
and
love that
Socrates.
book. God, I love those two. Those two, like, I I was a political science major in college, so I loved those two.
Hmm.
Yeah, but I get what you're saying. And when you say that, I'm assuming that you mean that you took more time with these people than ordinarily that you would have with anybody else. Is that what you're saying? Yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
would
Because of
agree.
the line in the first chapter or so, where Socrates says to I forget the other guy's name. He said that he's always eager to speak to his elders because they have traveled a path which I am soon to follow, and I would like to know,
In advance.
whether it
Yeah,
is exactly
yeah,
mind or whatever.
yes, exactly.
Yeah. So the wisdom in that was always something that was very important to me, and so that's what I think people eventually tap into or becomes far more important to them than like let's face it, your bank account doesn't love you back. It's true that it's easier to cry in the back of a Mercedes than it is on a bicycle, but at the same time.
But it's easier to cry in the back of a Mercedes, but it's horrible to feel that way in the back of a Mercedes, knowing that you got to a Mercedes and now you're crying. It's better to cry on a bicycle. But I think also I think that the middle part of what you just said is that you can get on a bicycle again and it wouldn't make a big deal for you. It wouldn't be a big deal for you. Like getting back on that bicycle would be just starting over and doing it again because it's never just one time that you have to succeed. Never. If that's the case, you're not, that's just, it can't be possible that you only have one chance. So, you know,
Hmm. Hmm.
I've been lucky that way with the people that I've done business with. I always used to say it's easy to look good when you have an angel on your shoulder, like a little invisible angel telling you yes, no, yes, no, don't worry. I gotcha. Here's, it's not just money, it's precious life advice because this particular person who passed away recently was 60 years older than me.
Mm,
So, no, I'm sorry, 30 years older than me. And that's a lot of years when you're starting at 30 and that person is 60. And then when I'm 60, he turned 90.
mm,
So it's a lot to learn from. Just because he did one particular industry, that can be, those are transferable, not just skills, but knowledge, transferable facts. So,
mhm.
sorry, is it my turn?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, but
Yeah.
you got plenty of time. But yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, getting back on that bike, that's such a huge part of.
And not worrying that, so what? If, it's just a matter of trying again, just
Yeah,
trying
exactly. Putting your
again.
ego aside,
Yeah.
and what better game to be playing on that subject than chess?
I was just going to
It's
say that, like, if to me, losing is learning. I know that that's something that everybody says, but I don't know if they all believe it. I honestly don't find it, I honestly don't, sorry, I honestly don't learn as much when I win. I feel good, but when I lose, I go back and I analyze. Um, Not these two games I will never analyze again, ever. Like I will pretend these two games never happened, but that's okay. That's okay. Yeah.
oh man, that's too funny.
That's okay. Yeah. No, so uh yeah, it it's just a matter of yeah,
Oh,
it's
good.
learning how to come back from sometimes a complete failure, and sometimes you have to come back from a virus like COVID.
Mhm.
The interesting story is that this particular investor who passed away did fund the entire film, and it did take me 20 years to make the film, but it wasn't because of funding, which is an interesting place to be in. It was because I couldn't find the right people to to do the film with. When I finally did, I realized that, sorry, I forgot my train of thought.
Yeah, you were talking about funding and COVID and getting the right
Oh,
people
right,
to.
the
Yeah.
COVID thing. Yeah, that was pretty horrible. So after 20 years, and we make this film, and it gets into one of the best film festivals, the only one I actually wanted it to get into, which was South by Southwest. And one week before the festival, it was closed.
Yep.
So 20 years to get in, you finally get in, and you're closed. So you're done, literally done. So if I could get back on the saddle from that and selling the film and still making it a beautiful, well, critically acclaimed cult classic, that was pretty harsh. I have to tell you, I don't think I ever, I'm not entirely sure I ever
Recovered.
recovered. Yeah.
Mm, mm.
But I didn't have a choice. I mean, I had an investor to pay back, right? So everybody that everybody that was part of this film have most people that were part of this film haven't recovered. It's
Mm.
very interesting because it was like sometimes when you invest in something, it could be a building, I guess, or a business, or in this case, it was a film, everything lined up. Like everything lined up. The stars aligned. Nobody, nobody could say that if this would have changed, it would have been any better. It just was perfect. Sometimes that happens to films, and sometimes, you know, sometimes it doesn't. In this case, it did. So I was able to get back on. I was able to get back on the saddle and make sure that the investor, again, got paid back, and we were able to not lose the film. And now I'm lucky enough that the the fans and the universe is asking for a part two or a TV series. We're not sure, but that's huge. That's a comeback. That's what I mean about a comeback. You
Mhm.
try. It's like whack-a-mole. It's that game like COVID tried and COVID tried and COVID tried. It just it was just hard. It was just that was hard. Sometimes so but my little angel was still here, so oops, sorry.
Yeah, I'm just looking at. I didn't see the night block was still there.
Yeah.
I think that's the only legal move left, isn't it? Yeah. So I know I could take it, but then now you can go over to where that knight was. Oh, but yeah, I think I see the. Yeah, I think I see the mate now. So yeah, it's interesting. So you've also interacted with all sorts of chess players, and
Yes,
and
that's
uh,
been fun. That's been fun.
yeah, and one of the things that I really was eager to discover through chess was I call it fate, and there are many different names for it. Some people say this god or that god is in charge of it all. Some people basically dismiss the idea of free will completely. They're complete determinists, and maybe I'm just I don't know what the word is. Like naive doesn't seem quite the right word, but I'm just in. Oh, okay, right. Yeah, I see what I have to do first because you still have one escape square.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, but so what are your thoughts about fate? Because like with a name like Berkowitz, you can take a guess on your background. It's probably a pretty
It's
safe
actually
one.
my ex-husband's name, but yeah,
Okay.
it's the same background.
Yeah, yeah. There you go. Yeah,
Um,
kablam.
if I could physically shake your hand, I would.
Digital fist bump.
And visual, but you know what? I have to tell you, I'm not a sore loser. It doesn't matter. But looking at the screen and talking still was very hard for me. I'm willing to admit it. It's an interesting dynamic when absolutely don't have
Right. Yeah, it's
total
full
total
attention. Right, right. And,
total.
there are two sources for that for me. One was watching Hikaru doing his live stream talking about, like
Yeah,
stocks and blitzing out these moves or his
yeah, but
sandwich
he's
or
doing
whatever.
it alone.
That's true too.
That's
Yeah.
different. It's a
Well,
different. If I were doing it alone, I would plan things out a little better. Not that he couldn't do it even if he wasn't doing it alone. I'm not saying that.
right.
I'm saying like it's easier when you're doing it alone and you're your only opponent, so to speak. But when I'm listening to you and trying to sound good, and then and I said, let me just have one more chance and I'll look at the board. It didn't matter. It's very interesting. Didn't matter.
It's tough.
Yeah.
It's tough. But before this interview, I did look it up, and I found that Critical Thinking is available on YouTube, at least where I am, for purchase and rent. You can get it that way, and on Google TV. I
Yeah,
think
it's
Prime Video
available
is available.
everywhere on Tubi, on Amazon. It's like everywhere. And yeah, it's great. I suggest every chess player watch it. This movie, and it's a true story, and it's about a teacher and his students. And the only other movie like that is Searching for Bobby Fischer.
Hmm.
So Bruce and I are very good friends. Bruce Pandolfini and I are very good friends. So we always talk about we're the only two chess movies, good ones at least, that
Right.
are about a teacher and his students. Then there's Stand and Deliver and Dangerous Minds and stuff like that. But yes, I appreciate it. The film is available everywhere, and look out for the either the part two or the series, because the people that are asking for it are the fans. So, which is really cool.
Excellent, excellent. And you and I interacted and first found each other on LinkedIn. That's where I spend most of my social media time.
Likewise, yeah,
Exactly. Okay, excellent. So that's true with you as well. If you
yeah.
do want to appear on this show, please do connect with me on LinkedIn and just DM me. Let me know what sort of investments you're into. It doesn't have to be real estate. It could be outside of that. But Carla, I really do want to thank you for joining. This
My
has been really fun.
pleasure. It's my pleasure. There's no harm in losing. I learned twice today. I lost and learned. Thank you so much for thinking of me. I hope this is a different kind of podcast for you. and I appreciate it. And look out for part two.
Absolutely. And if you want to see more of that, make sure you hit the big ugly subscribe button so YouTube starts paying for these videos instead of
Will
me.
do.
Right? Cool. All right. Awesome.
Exactly.
Thanks.
Okay, Dan. Have
My background has been in alternative investments for the past 20 years. I've seen just about every type of fund, worked on the accounting and operations side, and even at some of these big banks that I worked for, worked on a lot of projects behind the scenes to really hone my craft and, create Cardinal Financial Consulting and help people set up the right structures, handle the accounting and operations behind the scenes, and really take that away from the CEO's responsibility to make their lives streamlined. Sorry.
Oh, hey there. I hope you enjoyed the show. And if you are into chess, if you play chess and you're an investor of some sort, real estate or otherwise, well, you can be on the show too. I know, right? All you have to do is connect with me on LinkedIn. My name's Dan Fradenburgh, so I'm super duper easy to find on LinkedIn where I spend most of my social media time. But if you're one of those people who just don't play chess, it's don't pay attention to him. I don't judge. All you have to do is go to dandoesdeals.com and you'll find the Chance Encounter series where you're welcome to be a guest on it, where you can share your core competencies that you're likely to contribute to a GP team or a JV. You don't have to be doing syndications. And we'll talk about your buy box and stuff like that. It's easy peasy. It's like 15 minutes long to record, and there are no real fastball questions. Just tell the truth, and everybody will be fine. And if that's not really your thing, dandoesdeals.com. It also has the way to meet more, join more people, add more people to your investor list, your different deal sponsor operators and KPs and passive investors, all that kind of stuff. I'm probably repeating myself, but I'll give you the rest of your day. I appreciate you watching Chess with Investors. See you next time. Bye.